So my little intro video that you've just watched was created purely in Photoshop, and I'm going to take you through the step-by-steps how to create your own simple version. Okay, so the first thing you need to do is create a new file at the right canvas size. I'm recording my screen at 1920 by 1080 pixels, and so I'm just going to click OK. I've got that at the right size. And then now you need to think about how you want your video intro or outro to look. My idea to show you a few different techniques is that we're going to have something sliding in, expanding up, and a logo fading in. So let's get started, and I'm going to create the rectangle first. If you come over to the shape tool here and choose your colour, I've got my little turquoise blue here, and I'm going to just draw that on. And then in a new layer, open up for the text. I'm going to have it as white. Cantor's the font that I used across my website. Just make a box and type in my website address. I'm going to make that a little bit bigger. Okay, it's a little bit too big. I'm just going to work on a much smaller because obviously it's just a short little intro I'm trying to create here. And then let's start with these off of the canvas. Then I'm going to merge these two together to make it easier to work with. And add a position here at the start of your timeline, which is showing that it's off the canvas. And then move to where you want it to come in at and add another keyframe, which basically says that you're changing something on the timeline. And then move that across. And hopefully we can see that action then in here, something sliding in. Okay, then the next thing I want to do is get the turquoise box to expand up to fill the screen. We're actually going to create another layer underneath this text. Grab that and draw it in. But again, we don't want it showing straight away. So on this layer then, you open it up here. Okay, you just need to rasterize the layer first, and then you add a keyframe, drag it down so you can't see it. Then move your playhead to where you want it to come in at, create a keyframe, and move the rectangle up. So seeing that in action does that. The next thing it will be to have your logo come in. So create again a new layer, go up to place embedded. So I'm going to use my logo here. So at the moment it's blending into the background. You can just click colour overlay it to white. So that's quite nice there. And then this time I'm going to do something slightly different, but it's the same concept. So at the start of the playhead here, you're going to click opacity and turn the opacity down to 0. At the point that you want it to fade in at, add another keyframe and turn your opacity up to 100%. Okay, so if we watch this all coming together now, and that's a simple, easy way to create a nice little video intro. The other thing that you might want to do is add some audio in, and you can either do that in your video editing software or again within Photoshop. And just by clicking down here, add audio, and it'll bring your audio in to this line here, so you can actually time different things to come in at the point where the music changes. One last thing to do will be to make sure everything finishes at the same point. So we'll just neaten up our timeline here. Then finally, what you need to do is come up to the top here, export, and you can render it to video. That will save it as an MP4, which then you can put into your iMovie, Camtasia, or whatever you're using to edit your video, and drop it in at the start of your timeline. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed today's Her Tech Skills lesson.